Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Samurai Schultz, and welcome to HATENDR. So, gameplay effects, gameplay tags. That's what I should have had in the description. But we are using them for gameplay effects, so I suppose it is somewhat relevant at least. I honestly did not get a ton done this morning. I had to keep rewinding in these lectures to figure out what Stephen was saying here, but we're not going to do any drawing or blender for the stream. I'm just feeling kind of tired, and I want to do something that I will not have to talk as much for. We might end up doing some drawing. We'll see. We will see. Definitely no blender though, because I still need to get familiarized with using my drawing tablet with Blender. Because the wheel on the tablet that usually scrolls, like zooms in and out, it doesn't do that in Blender. It does that in Krita for some reason, but yeah, not in Blender. So let's open this up and let's see if I can show you guys what I've been doing. Oh, did it fail? Why would it fail? What happened? Debug. There we go. Oh. Unresolved external symbol. And wow. Okay. Well, we gotta fix that. So let's do that. Weird. Module that. Oh, you know what? I bet I know what I did. Hold on a sec. I gotta debug. Oh, actually, wait. Yeah, I think it's a. Yeah, I think it might be a plugin that I removed. Source. No. Saved. Oh, jeepers. I'm not exactly sure what to do here. I'll show the file as soon as I find it, though. I'm just looking through my folder right now. I'm trying to find the whatchamacallit. I'm trying to find the folder that has the plugins inside of it. You know what? I'm going to ask Copilot real quick here. Where to find the folder with plugins for my UE5 project. Huh. Okay, well, actually, you know what? Hold up. Well, let's look at this again. It says module.hotend. So let's look at this right here. Oh, wait, actually, let's look at engine, plugins. I think it has something to do with, I was having troubles with electronic nodes and Blueprint Assist. Um, and then today there was I saw a file open that wasn't saved yet that had to do with those two plugins. And I exited and saved, and maybe that affected it. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Well, okay. Develop, no. Hold on. I had it open in Notepad. No. No, no, no. What if I open recent? It shows recent. Yes. This is one. Okay, yep. I think this is it. This might be it. Yeah, it was the .u project file. Okay, let's see. What else did I have open? Yeah, it was this right here. So actually, I was working with this today because this is for creating gameplay tags, and I'll show that to you guys when I actually get the editor open. But then we have yes, tool. I'm gonna cut those out. And I'm going to save. Okay. That's probably not going to work, but I'm going to give it a shot. Give it all that I got. Still loading. That's something. It's something. Okay. We're kind of climbing on our system temp. Oh, it still failed. Wow. Unresolved external symbol. Virtual bool. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, sorry. I just saw HUD somewhere. HATEND.HUD.cpp.obj. I changed nothing about that. I changed nothing. That is really weird. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. I will. Okay, it's just gonna tell me to rebuild from the IDE, probably. Yep, rebuild from source. So who cares? All right, have enough. I've had enough of that for now. I'm gonna try opening recent again. Okay, so we have this. Yes. And I still have that right there. And I'm going to save that. And then close that. And I'm gonna close the writer IDE. What have I even changed? Oh. Oh my gosh. Well, there it is right there. So whole um so uh engine is gone, gameplay abilities is gone, UMG, which has to do with the HUD, is gone, which is why we're getting those HUD okay. I know exactly what happened. I don't know what happened, but I know how to fix it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so all we have here is engine. You can see that right here. So, wow. So we have type, runtime, loading phase defaults, additional dependencies. So I'm going to have engine, and then, whoops. Wish my monitors were more parallel. Hold on. I'm doing something. Oh, that doesn't really work that well. Okay. So right here. I'm at, hmm. I'm gonna try to open this up in Writer actually. I just like looking at the IDE more than I do a XML, which I think is the file type of Notepad. Yummy. Okay, so it's not this. Oh wait, I know. Hold up. Let me pull it up. Um, nope. That's not it. Not quite. Edit in Notepad. Some more options. Open with. Oh, duh, it's right here. Okay, so we have engine, and then right below it, okay. Core object. I'm gonna, actually, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna not save, because I'm gonna be editing it in here anyway. So we have engine, gameplay abilities, UMG, and core U object. Let's see if I can remember all that. Gameplay abilities. oops, comma. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. And then we have UMG. And the last one is core UObject. And I think it's capital O, if I remember correctly. Okay, so now all that, you see, now it's all back in. Well, actually, it doesn't show it still. So, what the heck is up with that? Also, I don't get why it doesn't show the whole file. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, okay. So, right. Yeah, that is why it's not building. We don't. Yeah, it just removed the modules, I guess, when I. Alright. Anyway, I'm going to copy this and just paste it in there. And name gameplay abilities. Oh, don't need that. Oh, comma there. Is that it? Oh, okay, yeah. So then it doesn't even show up because we reverted it back to the original. Man, good thing we didn't commit for some weird reason. Okay, so now I'm gonna do Control Shift B. Oh, actually, it has to still load. I actually need to use the restroom, even though we're not even half an hour in. But anyways, I will be right back. I'm back. Well, let's do this. So, okay, so now that the project has actually loaded, I'm gonna build. Okay, succeeded. Nice. Okay, now I can actually show you guys what I was working on this morning. And I'm gonna keep that open actually. Actually, no. I'll open it in the IDE. Yeah, we can open it right here. Here we go. Okay. So, gameplay tags are essentially, well, they're tags that we use to track gameplay effects, gameplay abilities, gameplay tasks, probably. So, for example, maybe when this such and such a gameplay effect is applied, a gameplay tag is also applied so that the person that now has that effect, while they have that effect, they also have that tag. And then maybe if something else tries to apply that, if another effect to them, they check first to see if they have the first gameplay tag. And they're like, oh no, I can't apply the effect I wanted to apply. Like maybe if you have, I don't know, damage immunity or something like that, and then an enemy tries to damage you, then they have to check for that immunity before they attack you. Um, or before they apply the effect. And if you do have that gameplay tag, then that the damage is not applied. But all gameplay tags, they come in a particular form. So let's take a look at the ones I have here. So there's some that already come with Unreal Engine, but these right here are the ones that I made. So it's just for player attributes, pretty much. Yeah, for some reason this isn't showing up. Whoops. Oh, right. So I made a data table with some other attributes. Let's open that back up again. Ah, here we go. So I made a data table for these. So uh, we have some sub attributes that belong to power, namely stamina, and then some that belong to vitality, namely health. That's the hard stat that belongs to that. And then under soul, we have intellect and spirit. I actually changed the name because it used to be that the attribute class was called spirit, and then the sub attribute class was called soul. But I switched that around just for reasons it felt more intuitive to me. Just given the functionality of this sub attribute class. So yeah. And it's, if you can't tell, the format of each gameplay tag is, it's a hierarchy. So if you think about it, just like how the path of a folder is hierarchical, when you look at, and let's take this one for example. So this comes from body, and that comes from attribute classes, and that comes from player attributes. So let's take a look at the source for this, and I made this in gameplay tags / data table underscore attribute classes. So I'm gonna open that up. So this is the hierarchy right here. You know what? I was gonna say it. I know it's hard to see. Now it won't be hard to see at all. Boom. That is annoyingly huge now. Player attributes dot attribute classes dot soul dot spirit. So remember we have player attributes. Where? Yep, right here. Manage gameplay tags. So we have player attributes, attribute classes, body, vitality. So 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. And then here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 levels separated by a period. It's kind of like the dot operator that we have in C++. But yeah, so this belongs under this, which belongs under this, which belongs under that. And actually, each of these, it wouldn't just be vitality. They are supposed to be prefixed with level, but I'm going to I'm going to change this back to 1 so that I can actually see what the heck is going on. 1.1 even. I'll change it to that. Power. We're going to add level at the end. So for each sub-attribute class, I don't really know what else to call them because there's attribute classes. The 2 attribute classes are body and soul. And then each of those have 2 beneath them. But I'm not really sure on a name for them. Like, I guess you could call them component attributes. It doesn't really feel right though. So I'm just calling them sub-attribute classes for now because they're sub-attribute classes. They're below that. Literally. Okay. Level. All right. So Control C. I'm going to paste this in there. Control V. Control C. Control V. Control C. Control V. I could manually type a level in there, but this just feels more satisfying and it's a little bit quicker. Okay, so we have level and then there's also score. So your score for each sub attribute class affects it's a modifier for the sub attributes of that sub attribute class. Yes. So but that's your score, but let's move this over. But the level is you could say it's the value that represents how good each of these is. When you wouldn't look at the score to if you wanted to evaluate your character and be like, I wonder how am I doing across my vitality, power, intellect, and spirit. Just how good am I across each of those individually? Then you would look at the level. And the levels actually affect the scores of some of their adjacent classes. So for example, the vitality level goes toward 20% of the power score and 20% of the spirit score. And similarly, the power level, it goes toward 20% of vitality score and 20% of intellect score. Because the idea is that the body and soul are connected, so their traits also have ripples and affect each other. So you might say, oh, well, my strength and my power in itself is fine. Like I have a good level of power, but maybe you have a really weak intellect, and that affects your power sub attributes, and that kind of expresses the idea that your intellect kind of puts a bottle cap on how well you're able to use your power. I really should start calling it something else. Power is way too vague. I'm thinking of something more like strength. I really should call it strength. I might change it to that. We'll see. And then same kind of thing with like spirit level affecting your health. You know, the more because your spirit, it's kind of your well-being and your will. I think that's pretty much how I describe it. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Uh, and yeah, I mean, if you are depressed in real life, then you are not going to be as healthy, right? You're going to not being, you're going to take a hit way harder than you would otherwise. And so that's kind of the idea I'm bringing into this. Um, so that means you can't really you there's kind of a limit for how much you can just max out one skill and be okay. You kind of have to balance all of your not skill. You can your sub attribute classes. You have to balance them out. Otherwise, you might have a really high intellect level and really and intellect has to do with interacting with magical objects and casting spells. They have a different name, but you might think, oh, you know, I have a super high intellect level. I'm doing super well. Like you know, I'm gonna be so powerful. And then your power might be really bad, or your spirit might be really bad, and that's going to bottleneck that ability, or the abilities that are contained within that sub attribute class. So I know that was all a mouthful. I'm just gonna shut up and go straight back to the video here. Oh, actually, I don't know. That's not important right now. Yeah, wait. Yeah, so when you make you uh you can make gameplay tags in here, but you can also just make them right here. So I could go here and say, okay, I want to start making scores for each of these. So then you would go add subtag, and then it would fill this in at the top, and you could put in, okay, under power level, I want to do power score, and then you could put a dev comment and say, affects the sub attributes. Whoops, affects the sub attributes of power. And then you can select your source, which is default gameplay tags. And then you can add that new tag and it would show up down here. And it would be in the drop down under power level because it's under power level as signified by that dot symbol. So I'm not going to add another one that way. But that's kind of what I've been doing, is just setting that up. Okay, I'm going to watch this lecture here. Hold on. Wait. Let's see, last lecture. Right. on gameplay effect. Applied delegate to self. So we're trying to figure out what the signature is for this delegate so that we can bind a callback to it. Oh, we're trying to use a gameplay. Wait. Gameplay effect delegates. Nah, I don't get it. I'm not exactly sure what we're doing. Wait. But. Like, I understand the step we're doing now, but I'm not sure why we are doing that. But anyway, I'm gonna go here. Three params, interesting. So we're gonna need these three parameters to use this delegate. Okay, so yeah, maybe I didn't explain this very well. This delegate, we need to receive it in the, I don't know exactly which class it's gonna be. Might be effect actor, possibly. But we need to, oh, actually, it might be our own ability system component. But we want to receive this delegate on some class, and we need to receive it and then bind a callback to that delegate. And since the delegate is going to use these, the function callback also has to use these. My gosh, my nose is so itchy. Like right in the most annoying spot. It's not like, oh, spot up here. It's like right. Ow. So I'm going to copy that. Yeah, and so this is weird because, yeah, when you have a multicast delegate, apparently you don't need the names. Because this is just a raw pointer type. Like, normally you would have, it would be just ASC or something like that, right? I'm actually kind of worried about editing this because this is not of my own creation. This is an engine file. This is built in with the engine. Same thing with this. This is a const reference. But there's no name after it. And then same thing with this. This is a data type. So okay, I'm gonna keep watching here. Okay, we're closing other tabs, I guess. I was right. We are using this. We're receiving the delegate here. Oh, gotta get that space. I'm actually gonna undo that. Void effects applied. This right here. Wait. Oh yeah, we don't need. Oh yeah. So these parameters basically are the delegate, I guess. I think that's how that works. Yeah, we couldn't do that. Gameplay effect spec. I'm just gonna call it, yeah, effect spec, and then we are gonna call this effect handle. Oh, not a comma there. Yeah, we don't want the data type separated from the, or not data type, variable type. This is data, but this is a, well, it's all data, I guess, but I guess value? Yeah, like this is a value, but this is data that has a value. This is data that's a reference. I'm not sure if that's a meaningful distinction though. Yeah. Oops. If active. Gameplay effect handle. Oh, so we do need this. Effect handle. Oh, you can't. Wait, can I not separate it by lines? Oh, wait. What? Void effect apply. Oh, we're missing. I don't know how that. Okay. That happens. There we go. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Right. And then we need this right here. And I'm going to call this on gameplay effect applied, at least for now. We'll see what he calls it. Okay. I'm still kind of confused on multicast delegates, but I think it's basically you have a delegate that you inherit from a class, I think. Because this is inheriting from this, right? It's a child of the original ability system component. And we are creating a delegate, and we're creating a function callback, and we have to bind the delegate to the function callback so that when other classes listen, they can listen for yeah, so when this function is triggered, it broadcasts this delegate, and listening classes pick up on that delegate and do something based on that. And they can even take in some of this data, or all of it, any of it. I think that's it. So maybe begin play. No. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so we have to choose when to bind at runtime, though. Hmm. Okay, so he was doing something interesting here. So originally he proposed that you could bind delegate and callback. This would be wait. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. He suggested that you could bind them and begin play, but he's saying that it might actually be better to do it in a what's that character base? Oh, right. It might be better to do it in a function that is similar to init ability actor info. Because here we're getting the player state, the ability system component, the controller, the HUD, but the key here is the ability system component, which is that has to do hugely with receiving and sending gameplay effects. So now he's proposing that instead of declaring it here, we have it on character base. So I'm actually gonna cut this, and that should not be like that. That's awful. I'm gonna paste it here. And I'm going to generate a definition. And then I'm going to oh wait, no, I didn't want to delete it here. But it's going to be virtual void override. And no. Right, it doesn't override yet because we have to say that here. Yep, it's a virtual void function. That virtual means that it can be inherited. It can be overridden. So virtual void. Okay, I think we're doing that correctly. Ooh. Yeah. Oh yeah, so here in ability actor info, we want to feels a bit roundabout, but I don't really know what other way you would do it. So let's see, I'm gonna close those. We've already got that. I'm gonna move this all the way over here because we're not really using that. Okay. Pair these. So again, we have to figure out a good time to bind these two together. The delegate and the function callback. And so Steven's saying, oh, well, we could just basically somewhere in here, we can let the hot-end ability system component know that it can bind that delegate in its callback. Oh yeah, and we want the enemy to do it as well, because the enemy can also receive those effects. So I'm going to move this here, enemy base. This is going to be virtual void. What is it called again? Init ability actor info. And we are overriding. Nope. There we go. And I guess we don't care about the super. Oh yeah, we don't care about the super because there's nothing there in the first place. There's nothing there to inherit from. Okay. I don't think we need it right now. Or I don't think we're going to write any functionality. Oh, wait. Yeah, wait. Oh, okay. Wait, init ability. Nope. Init ability actor info. Yeah. There we go. Wait, so if we get ability system component and we init ability actor info, oh, then it calls this function. Cool. Nice. All right. Just to be clear, I don't entirely understand what's going on, but I am trying my darndest. Ability actor info sets. Yeah, so this is called when I mean, it's feels like it's pretty obvious, but when the ability actor info is set, this will be called. So we will probably call that in init ability actor info. But I'm going to be patient and wait. Don't want to jump the gun. Wait, hold up. Oh yeah, I'm not quite jumping the gun. Yeah, as soon as we call it, yeah. Wait, we need to cast? Wait, what? What? Wait. So after this, we're going to cast to the ability system component. Ability system component. Okay, so we actually need to do this a little bit later. Yeah. I'm going to do it a little bit differently than he is. Because what he's doing is he kind of has some duplicated code. So he had this line before this one, and he basically just put this in there. but we already have that, so I'm just gonna, it's the same thing except shorter, so yeah. And then ability actor info set, yeah, so that's exactly what it, yep, I just shortened it. Attribute set. Yeah, so we can do the same thing. Yeah, let's see if I can do this here. So we're gonna cast to new ability system components. And oh, we're not gonna get health. Wait, I wonder actually. Wait. Ability system. Yeah, okay, we have it up there. Alright. Yeah, we sure do have a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go back to enemy base.cpp. Yeah, okay. Ability actor. Oh. Ability actor info set. Wow. This autocorrect is, or autocomplete is really bad sometimes. But it does something different whether you press tab or enter. So it's safer to use tab. Because sometimes it'll delete text in front of it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I would use enter. We're casting here. Yeah, we're not storing it. We're not storing this value. Well, actually, there's no value to store. It's just taking that value directly and then and then calling a function on it. What did he just say? Hold up. Um. Oh, I see. Okay, he's saying, yeah. The player character now knows, it knows about the ability system component because, yeah. Yeah, see, it's tightly bound because we have to cast to a specific ability system component. Oh, we're halfway through. Yay. We have to cast to a specific ability system component and then call a function on it. But the key here is we're casting to that specific one. We're not taking a generic, which means it's dependent on that ability system component. And if we made some function in here that was dependent on HATEND player character, like maybe we had to cast to the HATEND player character, that would be a tightly coupled set of classes, I guess. And you don't want a two-way dependency because then it's way harder to remove things. Because maybe we want to change out the character that this ability system belongs to. I think that's it. Or maybe we want it to belong to not just the character, but also other entities. Well, We actually do. That's what the enemy is for, right? The enemy is going to have its own HATEND ability system component. Yeah, so again, we have this dependency. So just like in, yeah, right here. So right there and right there. It's the exact same line. Exact same. Both of those know about the HATEND ability system component. And if we make it so that, yeah, if we make a two-way dependency between the HATEND ability system component and either one of these, then it can't access the other one. So if we make a two-way dependency between this and the enemy, then it won't be able to. Then we'd have to write out complete new functionality for communicating with the player. We don't want that. Hold up. Yeah. So now that we have our ability, we have this function where we know our ability actor info is going to be set. Let's see if I actually, yeah, then we can actually have some functionality. So let's get all these done. Okay. Nice. So here's where we're going to bind the delegate in this callback function. We had it right here. Right here. Wait a second. Whoa. Wait a second. Wait a second. Where is it? Oh, wait. Whoops. Which we'll see. I'm going to search for this again. Here we go. So we want to take that delegate and we are going to bind right here. Bind. On gameplay effect applied delegate to self. Oh yeah, 3 parameters. Okay. Add you object. So he's saying if it was declare dynamic multicast delegate, which is what I'm used to seeing, then we could do add dynamic instead of add you object. I don't know what the difference is. No idea. It's a uObject based member function delegate. uObject delegates keep a weak reference to your object. Oh. Okay, I'm not sure what the advantages of a weak reference are over a I guess what would add dynamic? Add dynamic. Shoot, okay. Well, we can't look that up, I guess. Well, actually, maybe we can find in here. Add dynamic. Whoops. Dynamic. Yeah, whatever. Okay, add. Okay, so add UObject. What does this do exactly? As a UObject-based member function delegate. Parameters. In user object to bind to. We have to class method function address. Okay, well, I know the method is going to be this. So, yeah. Do we have to put all this in there? Oh, we have to fully qualify it. I see. I think that should be it. Why do we have to make it a reference? Hmm. Okay, whatever. Excuse me. Wait, what are we trying to do here? Okay. So any effect that's applied will trigger this, I guess. Because we're setting the ability actor info. Wait. Open up the player character. Hold up. Init ability actor info. Oh, so yeah, when we replicate, we're going to initialize the ability actor info, which means we're going to reset it to whatever it should properly be. And then that's going to call this, which is going to bind the delegate that will be sent from the player character or the enemy or whatever to the ability system component, which is going to trigger this. Wow, that's a lot. Also, we don't need that at the end. On gameplay effect applied. Should just be effect applied. Did my lamp just get brighter? What the heck? Or am I hallucinating? Okay, I think that's bright enough. Actually, oh. Yeah, that's good. Beautiful lighting. Amazing. Okay. We could do, yeah. Add on-screen debug message. Key. I'm going to use fire. Cyan. Okay. Yeah, what comes after that, though? Will be newer on top. I'm gonna compile. Please be good, 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 please, please, please. Yeah! Pure skill. Definitely no luck involved with programming ever. I mean, that's technically true, actually, but it definitely feels like you just get lucky sometimes. Or lack thereof. Luckiness. That's a cool sword. I like that sword. This is really weird, but yeah. Okay, anyway. Oh, one unsaved here, so I'm gonna save. Effect applied, yay. No, like I'd like for this to be destroyed. Destroy on effect completion. Yeah, these are just not getting destroyed at all. Not sure why that is. So let's figure that out. So actor, effect actor. So we have a bool up here, be destroy effect completion. By default, it's set to false, which is fine. Oh, you know what? I set it in the blueprint there, but I can set it for these individually. Okay, it's also set for those huh. Okay. So some functionality is awry. Okay, I'm gonna look for destroy. What's it called? Be destroy on effect completion. Huh. I hmm. So let's see, on overlap, on end overlap. Okay, well, I'm just gonna make a simple if. So if destroy effect on completion. Where is it? What's it called again? If it's equal to true. Oh, double equals. Otherwise, it's an assignment operator. Then we are just going to destroy. Nope. Oh, Control Shift V. Oh, that's what that does. Wait. Oh, that's my clipboard. Ah, interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Now if I try it. Yay, there we go. Excellent. Tremendioso, gorgioso. And then it's set for that, but not set for the fire. For some reason, this doesn't tick down. Should do it. Yeah, so it still does the effect applied message for 4 seconds, but yeah, okay. Hold up. My gameplay tags with effects. Okay. And he really explains, wow. Okay, so what he's basically doing is, I'm gonna get out of both of those. Um, where does he have? Yeah, so right here he puts a breakpoint. So when this line gets triggered at runtime, and by runtime I mean when we press the play button, it's sometime after that, whenever this function is called, and whenever the wouldn't be the compiler, whenever the program goes through this line, it's going to pause the game. So if I go here, actually, you know what I noticed? There's a message in the top left that shows that I actually don't need that widget controller. Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, it should be in here actually. Yeah, there we go. And then, ta-da, okay, that's fixed. Yippee. We don't need that right now. Don't need that. What was I doing now? Right, yeah, so I'm going to press play again. And it should trigger that breakpoint when an effect is applied. So, boop, it's going to stop. Oh, look at that. And every piece of data is kind of frozen in time. So we can look inside ability system component and we can see a bunch of stuff in here. Replication mode is mixed. Yep, that sounds right. On ability ended. That's empty because we don't have anything with abilities right now. I'm gonna close that. What else do we have? On gameplay effect applied. Oh, we can look at effect spec. So we went over a health potion and it shows the gameplay effect associated with that health potion, which is GE underscore potion health. We have modified attributes. That should be health. I don't see it there. Stack count. Yep, it's just one stack. A stack is an instance of that effect applied to you. So let's say the potion was applied to the character instead of instantly, it was applied over 3 seconds. Then if you pick up all of those health potions at once, then you'll have 3 stacks for about 3 seconds, depending on how quickly you pick all of them up. Effect context, level is 6. Why is our level 6? Oh, you know why? Because that's what we set the actor level to. Basically, we set the actor level per object. So, yeah. Data, instigator, effect causer. Like we have, yeah, the effect causer is ourself, I guess. Ability level is 1. I guess that's just default. But we're not doing anything with abilities right now. Actors. Instigator is player stage. We haven't really talked about instigators that much. But yeah, he just kind of goes through that. Oh yeah, and then at the bottom we have effect handle. Actually, I should rename this to active effect handle. Oh, yeah. Past filters and was executed. True. Yep. It was executed. Okay, let's see what we do here now. Oh yeah, but once it does this, you just have to press play at the top. And oh, guess we have to do it twice for some reason. But anyway. Oh, whoops. We forgot to remove that breakpoint, so I'm going to press play again. Okay, and then if we go over another one, it should not trigger it. Yeah, good. Okay, so now we're on another lecture here. This one's 11 minutes. Let's see if we can finish it up. Get all asset tags. We're actually going to show the asset tag, I think. Okay, let's see here. Hmm. Wow. He just spent a minute and a half explaining something, which doesn't sound like a long time, but he was talking that entire time. Holy crap. And I can appreciate it. I can appreciate it. It is just tough sometimes to pay attention because of my ADHD. Doing my best though. Gameplay effects spec. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to change that, so I did. The name of this right here. Yeah, so we want to make something display on the HUD, which means we have to send data. We have to broadcast data from the ability system component, and then something on the HUD has to listen for that data. So I think we're working with another delegate. Granted tags. Oh, so yeah, right. Okay, I only know this because I've done this part already. But he wants to make it so that when you pick up a potion or something like it that applies a gameplay tag, we want to get the gameplay tag from the effect spec and send it to the HUD, and it's going to display a little widget that says picked up health potion or picked up mana potion, something like that. That's what he's going for here. But yeah. And maybe he makes this clear, but he often just says, "Okay, we're doing this part," but he doesn't like give the overarching feature that he's adding, which in this case would be the little widget that pops up. But he doesn't say that, so I'm left confused, usually. Get all asset tags. Okay. Oh yeah, so if we want to store a bunch of gameplay tags together, we don't use an array, we don't use a map, not a struct, we use a gameplay tag container. Why? Because it's got gameplay tag in the name. So there you go. There's your answer. Oh look, we're making one now. Tag container. Okay, but we need to actually add some tags here, right? Okay. So now we haven't added anything to the tag container yet, but we're going to broadcast to that widget controller, or to the widget controller, which will then send that to the HUD. Because that's how we're doing it. Because this is part of the model. The widget controllers are just the middleman for the model, which is behind the scenes data, like the ability system component and things related to the player, and then the HUD. So it's the middleman between those two areas. Okay, he says we're not doing it right now. So I'm going to just say auto. Whoops. Auto tag. Yeah, so we're going to do this later. Broadcast. If I can spell. Broadcast tag to. Man, it's kind of crazy that I just started. Man. So in this course, there are. Wow, there's so many sections. There are 33, basically 32 sections. And when I was going through this course for the first time, and I'm currently on section 7, and I've gotten, which is about, it's roughly 15 hours of lecture time total. I think that's about right. It's about 15 hours of lecture time. Maybe more like 13 or 14. It took me at least a couple months to get through this, maybe 3 months, because I was so new to C++, and I was still learning Unreal Engine. And now I'm using 5.6, the latest version, which has some changes, so that's a bit of a hurdle in itself. But now I'm actually understanding, for the most part, what I'm watching, and yeah, that's been kind of one of my flaws. Is I think most game developers, when they start out, they're like, I want to make a game, and they just make a game. And my approach was, wow, I have this really cool idea. I want to make a game. I'm going to learn the most disgustingly efficient ways to do it before I even actually make a game. Like, I have not actually finished a project yet that has a core gameplay loop and is playable from start to end. I have not done that yet. Not once. I've contributed to projects that have done that, but I've never actually done it by myself. And I wouldn't know how to do it that way. Like, I still don't know how to make a game because I've spent like so much of my time learning this gas system, this gameplay ability system, which is good. Like, it's a good framework for the games that I want to make. Like, all of the game ideas that I have need this, and it would be awful to try to make a game without it. But it also means that I don't have a portfolio, and that's kind of a problem. But then on the flip side, uh, I am a little bit ahead because I've been, I'm a little bit ahead of the version of myself that would have just tried to make a game in blueprints really quick. And there wouldn't have been games that I would be able to be proud of. So, yeah, they might matter, for somebody else to see if I was going to work with somebody else and they wanted a portfolio, that would matter to them, but they just don't matter to me. And it's really important that they matter to me so that I can actually be motivated. And one of the problems is you lose a little bit of motivation when you try to learn like how I'm learning, where you're not getting a game ready to play by the end of the day. It is a little bit demotivating, but my point is, even if I had made a game that had a scope small enough to be playable by the end of a week of development, I would be demotivated. I would still be dissatisfied with it because I would think this isn't the game I want to make. I have ADHD, and with that comes kind of a rigid mindset about certain things. If it doesn't fit my vision, then basically I just get depressed and I can't continue on with working on it. I'm just like, it's ruined. And I just get a mental block. My brain just stops working. And it's really hard to fight that. So instead, this is the way I've chosen to done it. This is the way I've chosen to do it. I don't recommend it for most people. I would say just kind of take account of how you react to learning about the things around you. So that's what I did. I'm trying to live up to my ideals, and maybe it won't work. Maybe I'll still get demotivated and it'll be a disaster, but this is kind of what I've got. And yeah, really proud of myself because it's been 7 sections in 7 days, basically. So, yeah. Let's go back to this. G engine. Why are we doing another G engine? I don't Wait, what? What? Oh, I'm gonna replace this auto with if gameplay tag. I think it's a reference. Yeah, it is. Okay. Now we've got this. Okay, so const f string message equals if string let's see tag dot toString. Okay. And then we have message right there. So I could have left it how it was, but I chose not to, and that's because if I wanted to change my message, like maybe I wanted to concatenate this, then I could do, I don't know, I could do something like ASDF. I think that would work. Yeah. Then it would have the tag, and then immediately it would add this bit at the end. Oh wait, no, he's doing it differently. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Printf. Oh, he uses this so he can use the text macro, I think. So let's see. G tag. And then we're going to do %s. And then our second parameter is going to be that, I think. String. Oh, wait. Wait. This is, so it's type f string. This returns an f string const. Wait, what if we try, there's another one he pointed out. What was it? Get tag name. What does this return? That returns an f name. Okay. I'm just going to do toString. So he's saying we have to use this to convert it to an array of characters or tcars. That's how you spell it right there. Yeah. F color red. Did I do that? I think I did that correctly. Message. Yeah. Yeah. That's how you do it. That's it. So now it should print a debug message when we... Wow, that really fills up health. Holy moly. Oh, the fire doesn't actually do anything now. I'm gonna make a folder called testing content. These aren't really items, so I don't want those to be there. That's just for, yeah, move those. Because for Steven, he's making a game where you can walk over potions and you just automatically drink them. I don't want them in my game. When you walk over a potion, it does nothing. You have to manually pick it up, and it's in your inventory, and then you have to manually drink it. So, testing content, gameplay tags. Right, so with this, and with, that's infinite. Okay. Scalable float magnitude. Yep. BP underscore fire. Remove an overlap. Apply an overlap. And delete those. I was using those at one point, but I do not need those now. Okay. Going to think, yeah. I think we're good. Okay, show debug ability system. Okay, so we have health at 50. Okay, it is going down now. When is this supposed to be triggered? On effect applied. Yeah, we are not getting that. I'm actually going to change this because there's a bunch of red text already. I'm going to change this to purple. You know what? I'm actually going to make that magenta. It's going to pop way more. Oh, wait, we didn't actually add any tags to this. Duh. And grant tags, required tags, asset tags. Yep. There we go. Okay. Because remember in here, we have tags. Yeah, get all asset tags right there. Yep. So it'll be yeah, right. So instead of getting all asset tags, we could get all granted tags or get all blocked ability tags, and you'll notice that correlates. Whoops. That correlates with block abilities with tags, and then we have grant tags, and then tags as effect has required tag. What's this? Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but we don't need it. We just need that right there. Hmm. let's just see if it pops up here. One unsaved. Okay, I'm gonna save that. Let's play, and it should pop up because we have that gameplay tag up there. And actually, it does it twice. It does it twice for one. Why does it do it twice? It's doing it twice for each one. I don't think that there's two. Yeah, there's not two of them there. There's only the one. Hmm. Yeah, why is it printed twice? Instant gameplay effect. Has duration game. Oh. I bet. Huh. Yep. Well, what if I select this? Oh, it's different for that. Okay. Do not apply. Okay, now if I walk over it, then it's just the one. Oh. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so what was happening there is it's set to, let's see. So, yeah. Each effect actor can employ an instant gameplay effect and a has duration gameplay effect. Well, you can set them each, but the actual GE_fire is a duration one. But it doesn't care about that. It just says, oh, look, we have these two gameplay effects, and then it grabs the asset tag twice because both of these are filled in. That's actually not that clear. So this class was filled in there, and this class was filled in. Whoops, it was actually filled in with this. They were both filled in. So it doesn't care. Let's see, do not apply. What about do not apply? Oh, I'm gonna actually do a little quick save there. Yeah, it still does it. Oh, it doesn't do it twice. Okay, so then I was slightly wrong. Wait. Yeah, so if it's set to do not apply. Oh. So if it's applied, right, because depending on that, we're choosing whether to apply it or not. Yeah. Which is then going to eventually trigger this. Okay. Let's set this back to be correct. So tag, captured source tags, get all asset tags. There we go. What in the world? Control C, Control V. There we go. Okay. Well, we got 10 minutes left to streaming, but there's 1 minute left in the lecture, so maybe I'll just yap for the rest of the time. We'll see. Oh yeah, and the reason that we made this a gameplay tag container is we can have multiple gameplay tags per gameplay effect, which makes sense, I guess, because if you want to apply immunity as a gameplay effect, you want to apply the immunity tag and a cannot be attacked tag. Yes, maybe that's a poor example, but in case you want to apply multiple tags, because who knows, you might want to apply multiple tags. Then it loops through each one and it will print them both to screen if you add both of them here. So I could add another one and make it also tags this effect has. But I'm going to delete that because I don't want that. Anyways, yep. Hmm. Okay, sorry about all that science. I was just watching the rest of that lecture. So, okay, that was kind of boring, but we did add a lot here, I guess. So, I don't know. That's something to be proud about, I suppose. I'm just gonna type in gameplay tags, and let's see. Added some gameplay. Let's see. Added gameplay tags to default gameplay tags.ini. Added asset. Let's see. Assets tag to BP underscore potion health. And then we did some other basic functionality stuff like just, yeah, debug messages. Then we sent the gameplay effect spec over to the ability system component, I think. But yeah. So I'm going to probably flesh this commit out a little bit more and then commit later. But something I wanted to talk about is um, one of my friends who is a game developer. I might have mentioned him before. Um, he and his new hot upcoming studio, Burger Cage Studios, they have a game on Steam that has not been released yet. The date is to be announced, but they're in a playtesting period currently, and I was asked to be a playtester, and the game is called Starcoat. Again, that's Starcoat. That's exactly how it sounds. Um, there's no video for the Steam page yet, unfortunately, because the music isn't bad. Music is pretty good. But I will be making a video about that soon, so that's pretty exciting. I'm excited for him and his team. They're just a small team of uh, 3 developers, pretty much. He does the 3D modeling, and then somebody else does programming, and then yet another does music. Um, so yeah, pretty excited to play that. Yeah. Anything else? Still working on a video that I hope to upload by the end of this week. It's not going to happen by the end of this week, probably, because I have 2 more videos I want to record yet. Uh, uh, but anyway, I think that's it. See, so tomorrow we'll be doing Blender. Thanks for watching. If you stuck around to the end of this, I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow, doing Blender, drawing the thumbnail, maybe a little bit of this, but since I spent the whole stream doing Unreal Engine, I will probably do a little bit less tomorrow. Maybe only half an hour. Yeah, so that's the plan for tomorrow, I think. That's it. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Farewell.